So Kirk, a chance to be really effective on the mound.
And the lineup that William Kirk will see today will be Ray Velasquez to lead things off. You've only got 3 left-handed hitters in the lineup against the lefty William Kirk today. Well, nice afternoon for baseball. The temperature around 59 degrees right now, high 50s. A little bit of a wind blowing out of the south. A cool afternoon, but not nearly as cold as it was on Sunday. The first pitch of the game is a fastball low, and we're underway here in Starkville.
Yeah, it feels like a heat wave compared to Sunday.
See the lineup: Velasquez, Proctor, Wisdom, Johnson, Matias, and Taylor. Paris Pridgeon had a big weekend this past weekend against Eastern Michigan, and the 1-0 pitch is down. Austin Peay started its season with a 4-game series out at UNLV. They dropped the first 2 games of that series and battled back and won the last 2. Lost the Friday game against Eastern Michigan. That ball popped foul and out of play. But then bounced back to win the Saturday and Sunday games up in Clarksville. That was their home openers this past weekend against Eastern Michigan. And now 3 balls and a strike. Well, William Kirk, 4 innings of work, 3 runs on 6 hits, 4 strikeouts, no walks. And lifted in the air, foul. Velasquez started his career at Vanderbilt. Did not play his freshman year in 2023, played just 3 games as a defensive replacement 2024 before moving to Austin Peay last year and started 47 games at third base a year ago. 3-2. High and outside, and that is ball 4 and a leadoff walk here in the top of the first.
Well, first walk on the season by Kirk, and it'll get this game started.
So Kirk will have to deal with a base runner here in the top of the first inning, and Kyler Proctor will be the batter. Slow start for Proctor, the junior second baseman. Just 4 hits and 24 at bats, a .167 batting average. And lifts that one foul. Has 1 extra base hit, and that was a triple.
Proctor, a guy, though, the hit tool clearly there, a little bit of a victim of the short sample size.
Throw to first, runner back.
You get a small sample size at the beginning of the year, and for a couple of games, you got to go up there and look at a batting average that may look low. All it takes is a hit or 2, and you can swing your batting average by 100 points or more.
Fouled it back again. Roland Fanning in his 4th year as a head coach at Austin Peay. Spent 3 years with Nick Mingione up at Kentucky as an assistant coach. Went to Oklahoma State there, and now his 4th season in Clarksville. Well, last year's team went 45-14, went 26-4 in the league. Finished first in the ASUN, but finished 3rd in the tournament, and were left at home on selection Monday. Here's the 0-2. Chop foul.
All right, we're talking about Proctor, and off to the tough start this season. The batting average just 167. It's a guy that hit 328 a year ago, starting all 58 games at second base. Guy that's got home run power, certainly has gap power.
0-2. And off the mid of the catcher, Sean James, and back to the screen, and that will be a pass ball, and the runner moves to second with nobody out. So a leadoff walk, then the pass ball, and Austin Peay has a runner in scoring position here in the first.
Pitch was up, but James got a glove on it.
count 1-2. Well, Austin Peay, you can tell they're into the game early over in the dugout. Cheers on every foul pitch, on every ball. Up on the railing.
Well, that was the same energy they brought even to the pregame in terms of batting practice, taking infield.
Breaking ball, grounded right side. Second baseman up with it. And the throw to first by Drew Wires, drawing the start out at second today. Proctor grounds out 4-3 on the putout. A productive out for Proctor to move the runner to third. And now Ty Wisdom will bat. Wisdom, the left-handed hitting right fielder, batting .250 on the season. 3 of his 6 hits have been doubles. Has 1 RBI. He's got a RBI chance over there at third base, 90 feet away. Velasquez drew the leadoff walk, went to second on the pass ball. They lifted in the air into left field. Ranging back is Valencius, and Vitas makes the catch. It's deep enough to get the run home. Velasquez crosses the plate, and Austin Peay takes advantage of the leadoff walk and takes a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first.
And that's a nice job by Wisdom. Just gets a ball in the air, gets it deep enough into left. Plenty of time for Velasquez to tag and score. And so there's a run on the board.
So the pass ball looms large here in the top of the first. Here's Cole Johnson, the DH. Johnson, 3 hits and 27 at bats, just 111.
Bart, we talk about it all the time. Baseball is sequential, so you never know how things would play out if the pass ball doesn't occur. It is worth noting, though, the next ball put in play was a ground ball to second. Bulldogs, instead of having a chance at a double play on that ball, see the runner move to third and then score on the fly ball.
And a strike called at the knees on the outside corner, and the count 1-2. Just one game in the midweek this week for both of these teams. State will hit the road and head out to Arlington, Texas for 3 games this weekend against Arizona State, Virginia Tech, and UCLA. Austin Peay back at home on the road. They're on the road at Cincinnati. 2-2. Chop left side, Ace Reese fields and throws in time for the out, and that will end the inning. But Austin Peay gets a run without a hit in the top of the first inning. And the Governors have a quick 1-0 lead. Of the first inning, and Chance Cox, a left-hander, will work with a lead as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Chance Cox.
Well, the thing about Cox, he's got a fastball. He can get it up 92, 93, but typically is going to sit around 90 miles an hour. And it's a good slider. He'll show the changeup a bit. It hasn't been a wipeout type pitch for him against right-handed hitters, but it's been one that he will show. And sometimes showing a hitter that you have it just puts one more thing in their heads.
And the lineup that he will face, we'll have Drew Wires at the top of the order. Only two left-handed hitters, Ace Reese, and then all the way down to the bottom in the 8 spot, Aiden Teal, the only left-handed hitters against the lefty Chance Cox. But Wires in the lineup at second base today. Valencia's out in left field. Blake Beavis, who had a walk-off home run on Saturday. Sean James, Ryder Woodson out at shortstop. Aiden Teal in center field, and Bryce Chance in right. And Drew Wires going to lead off for Mississippi State, making his 3rd start of the season. Wires has 5 hits and 8 at-bats. Limited action, the transfer from Bryant. And the first pitch at 89. And the strike. Wires drew the start on Sunday against Delaware. Grounds that ball foul. Had an infield hit in that game. That was back in the 4th inning. He went 1 for 3 on Sunday.
That Sunday game, we've talked about it being cold, and it certainly was, but the wind, I think, had the biggest impact on that game. It was blowing 20 miles an hour in from left basically all afternoon.
And the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Chance Cox gets the strikeout.
Well, and there was that changeup we talked about. Cox that time able to get a strikeout with it.
So a strikeout to start the bottom of the 1st. Here's Ace Reese.
Couple of fastballs, then the changeup. And Reese will hit the way Austin Peay would like to see him hit, and that's with the bases empty.
And pours a fastball across, and that's strike 1.
Four pitches, 4 strikes so far for Cox.
We're going to talk about the difference in the weather. Wind was blowing in, as you said, Charlie, on Sunday, straight in from left. Wind is blowing out to left today. But not nearly as hard as it was on Sunday. And now the count 1-2 to Ace Reese. Ace 15 hits and 30 at-bats here early in the season. It hits that ball well into right field. Back goes the right fielder, and that ball's off the top of the wall. And Ace Reese on his way to second. He's got a stand-up double, narrowly missing the home run, which would have been his 3rd of the season, but instead collects his 8th double of the year.
On Sunday, the wind would have given a little bit of help to anything going to right. Today, a little bit of harm as it's blowing out to left. But Reese gets this one just short of getting out of here. Take a look.
At the top of the wall in right field, Ty Wisdom. And that one sailed way over his head. And now here's Noah Sullivan with a runner at second and 1 out. Well, Noah Sullivan making start number 5 today. Did not play in the midweek last week. Was back in the lineup this past weekend against Delaware. Oh, just off the plate and count 3-0. We checked on the boys to make sure they got home.
I did not. Did you check?
I have not. I didn't get live 360 on them. Delaware bussing all the way back after the game on Sunday. Here's a 3-0. And right there, and that's strike one.
I can think of few things I would like to do less than bus to Delaware.
That's only just on the other side of Washington, D.C., Charlie.
Huh.
3-1. Hard hit ball
nice.
through the right side. That's a base hit. And they will stop the runner at third. And as the throw comes all the way in, Sullivan going to try to take second, and he's thrown out for the second out of the inning. And Ace Reese is still at third base.
Well, this is a great job of going the other way by Sullivan. He has an open spot to the right side, just puts the ground ball through it. He sees the ball come towards the plate, thinks there's going to be a play at the plate. Because of that, gets aggressive trying to take second. But when the catcher caught him, comes out in front of the plate to take the throw. Easy tag down at second.
And now 2 outs for Vitas Valencias. Good decision to hold Reese at third because that was a great throw by Wisdom, the right fielder. And here's the 0-1. Lifted foul, and now the count 0-2. And the Bulldogs lose another runner to base running down at second base here early in the season. Now the count 0-2. Valencia's batting .545, 6 hits and 11 at bats. And that was just down and away. Swing and a miss, and that will end the inning. So the Bulldogs get a couple of hits in the inning. Strand the tying run over at third. Chance Cox strikes out a pair. We've played one. It is 1-0 Austin Peay. Peay with a 1-0 lead. Think about last year, 45-14. We talked about 26-4 in the ASUN. They swept 9 series. Regular season champions. Roland Fanning was the coach of the year in the ASUN, but knocked out in the conference tournament. The first pitch, a breaking ball that misses. Andres Matias, the batter, the shortstop. There's Roland Fanning over at third base. Head coach coaches third. Now in his 4th season as a head coach of the Governors.
Yeah, we need to take an inventory on that throughout the season to see how many head coaches are coaching third. If you grew up a Mississippi State fan, it's the way you expected it because Ron Polk always coached third base.
"3-0. That's just off the outside corner. And a 4-pitch walk to start the second. So the leadoff walk came back to bite Kirk back in the first inning as Velasquez came around to score. And a leadoff walk here in the second. And now Zion Taylor will step to the plate. Left-handed hitting left fielder. There's a breaking ball strike. Matthew Wilbanks, a home plate umpire today. Lance Weems over at first. Brian Hale at second. The third base umpire is Javero January. Runner goes, pitch is high, and a throw down to second, and in time for the out.
Oh, wow.
Matias didn't get a great jump from first, but a good job behind the plate by Sean James. That's a tough pitch to handle and throw out a runner. A pitch is up and in to a left-handed hitter.
Yeah, not just a pitch that's up and in. It's a curveball that just kind of hung up there a minute. That pitch came at just 75 miles an hour, so it wasn't like an up and in fastball where you can go ahead and take it and you're already aligned a little bit. That was a... Just watching the time that the ball got there, I didn't think there was any way he would make the throw.
I don't think it was a delayed steal by Matias. I just think it was a bad jump, the pitch. Swing and a miss at the breaking ball. So now Kirk can settle back in and work without a base runner. Gets his first strikeout of the day, and now 2 outs at the top of the second.
So in the top of the first, Kirk gets hurt by the pass ball. It moves the runner into scoring position with nobody out. Here he gets help by throwing out a runner, and then takes advantage of it by following it up with a strikeout.
And Keaton Cottom will come to the plate. Austin Peay catcher. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
The left knee. We'll go back and take a look and see if that was when he was pushing off or when he just landed awkwardly. Left knee. It was on the push. Bulldog trainer Jason Wire. Doc Wire has been around a long time.
One of the best right there.
One of the most well-respected athletic trainers in baseball in the country. And William Kirk. Didn't see it buckle as he pushed off.
No, there wasn't anything there that makes you think he won't pitch anymore right now.
Yeah. So William Kirk will have to come out of the ball game. Mississippi State will get as much time as they need for a new pitcher to come in. And so William Kirk will come out of the game with 2 outs in the top of the second inning. And Austin Peay with a 1-0 lead. We'll come back and see who the new Bulldog pitcher will be. as Chris Billingsley begins to warm up down in the Bulldog bullpen. He's going to come in and he'll throw some from the mound in just a minute. He's got plenty of time to throw before coming into the game after the injury to William Kirk, a lower body injury. Appeared to be a left leg, left knee area. And so Chris Billingsley has all the time he needs, and we'll come back and Billingsley will come to the mound and pitch for the Dogs here in the top of the second inning. Well, Chris Billingsley will come in from the bullpen and pitch and inherit a no-ball, one-strike count against Keaton Cottom. Billingsley making his third appearance of the season, a right-hander from Brent, Alabama.
So, Bart, the thing that has always struck me about a situation like this, where a pitcher is injured and someone else has to come into the game and take over, by rule, you have as much time as you need to be ready. What you sometimes wonder, though, is the guys feel some sense of pressure to say they're ready if they're not. You get sped up a little bit. That's one of the disciplines that you have to have as a pitcher in this somewhat odd situation, is to be able to take your time and be fully ready to go.
Let's take a look back and see how we got here. William Kirk on the mound, and the first pitch to Keaton Cottom, that left leg. And just,
you know, a lot of times you see a video, you look at it, and you say, here's what happened.
That's right.
It's clear something happened. What that may have been is more difficult to decipher.
And Brian O'Connor will bring Billingsley in the game. Austin Peay scoring a run in the top of the first inning. It was an unearned run in the first. As a pass ball got a runner into scoring position. Bulldogs got a double by Ace Reese and a single by Noah Sullivan back in the bottom of the first inning, but unable to score. And Billingsley says he's ready. And the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Went an inning and a third against Hofstra. Was really good in the first inning, and then kind of got roughed up a little bit in the second inning. Then had a tough time against Troy last week in the midweek. Here's the 0-2. Gave up a couple of hits and a run and had a walk last week against Troy. That was late in that game. 1-2. Swing and a miss. And he's had difficulty locating that pitch, and that one looked really good. We go to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Austin Peay. Well, we got the bottom of the second inning. A light crowd today here at the ballpark. It's definitely a jacket day. 1-0 Austin Peay lead as we go to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Blake Beavis, Sean James, and then Ryder Woodson. Let's take a look at the pitch before William Kirk, and just to see if you may tell something on that last pitch. Didn't see much of a limp before that either. Sometimes it doesn't happen on the pitch you think. And there's a ground ball. First pitch swinging. Blake Beavis sends that one down the left field line, and Blake's on his way to second with a leadoff double. Blake Beavis, Bulldogs starting first baseman today.
Got a change up that time on the inside part of the plate, able to get out in front of it, pull it down the line.
And here's Sean James. That's one of those scouting report hits right there. Beavis has kind of made up his mind if he throws him a changeup, that's what he's going after. There's a ground ball left side. Backhand play by Matias. Gets up, throws it across, and not in time. And Sean James has an infield single.
Well, this is a really nice play by Matias going into the hole and keeps it on the infield. That's going to hold Beavis at second base as he was waiting to see if that ball goes through. But he nearly gives himself a chance to make the play at first. That was close, and if he doesn't have that little double clutch, he may throw him out.
And back-to-back singles, back-to-back hits, a double and now an infield single, first and second, and nobody out. And Ryder Woodson will be the batter, Bulldog shortstop. Down and in, and caught him. The catcher got just enough of it. Right off the end of the mitt to keep it in front. That ball ripped down the left field line, hooking, and that's a foul ball. So narrowly missing extra bases is Ryder Woodson.
Well, Woodson got the change up that time, and he too was sitting on it, and he hits it hard down the left field line, but just cannot keep it fair. That ball had a lot of spin on it.
And so the count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike to Ryder Woodson. And a fastball just off the plate, and the count 2-1. Woodson, Naples, Florida native, sophomore. And fouls that pitch off. .63, he's a tall shortstop. Played down at St. John Newman in Naples. 2-2. And there's strike 3. Took the fastball at the knees, and the third strikeout for Chance Cox.
Fastball sitting at 90, but paired with that changeup, just locks up Woodson. It's now a left-on-left situation as Aiden Teal will bat with 1 down and 2 on.
Aiden Teal, one of 2 left-handed hitters in the lineup. And a sweeping breaking ball from Chance Cox. Leadoff double by Blake Beavis, then an infield single by Sean James. A strikeout to Woodson now. 1 down and 2 aboard.
Well, didn't mean to, but fouls it off.
They ran the breaking ball away that time, and Teal's able to hold, and the count now evens. And now 3-2. Well, look down at third base, Javero January. Instead of giving the safe sign, he didn't go around. He just shook his head. No, he didn't go. He's not going to take the hands out of the pockets. Been around a little bit now. He's become a veteran umpire. Here's a 3-2. And behind him, and it hit him. And the bases are going to be loaded with 1 out for Bryce Chance.
So Teal was down in the count 1-2. He takes a couple of balls, then is hit by a pitch. And now Cox would love a ground ball here.
Well, it starts him with a slider in case he's up there sitting on changeup.
Austin Peay plays tight on the corners. Looks for the double play in the middle.
And now 2-0 to Chance.
And we're going to have a visit to the mound.
Now Kears Kimball. Pitching coach goes out to have a word. He's been at Austin Peay all 4 seasons with Roland Fanning. And Cox able to get a couple big strikeouts in the first inning, but a double, an infield single, and now a hit batsman here in the second. And now the count 2-0. And I think this is one of those conversations, too, of, hey, I know it's 2-0, but you got a veteran hitter at the plate. See what he does on the 2-0. Popped him foul and out of play. Came up there with a fastball, got it belt high. And Chance fouls it back and the count 2-1. Chopped it down, defeated the catcher.
So that's back-to-back fastballs that Chance has had an opportunity to swing at. First one just above the zone, that one a little more definitively within it. And now a big 2-strike pitch.
Bases loaded, 1 down. Bottom of the second. Line drive into left field, a solid base hit. They'll round the runner, Sean James, and he will score. And it's a 2-run single by Bryce Chance, and the Bulldogs take the lead.
Well, you've heard the saying about going to the well once too often. It was a pair of fastballs that gave Bryce Chance trouble. It was the third one that he hits into left field and drives in a pair.
And Bryce Chance with RBIs number 5 and 6 of the season. Aiden Teal stops at second. And it's a 2-1 Mississippi State lead. And here's Drew Wires, who struck out swinging his first time up. State has 5 hits off of Chance Cox here early. 2 runs to show for it, a 2-1 lead now.
And like he did with Chance, Cox has fallen behind 2-0 again.
And high and tight, now the count 3-0. And you got Ace Reese due up next, who doubled, narrowly missing a home run his first at bat, hit a ball about 4 inches from the top of the wall in right field. .30. That's right there. But he give in with a fastball right here to Drew Wires.
Yes.
Here it comes. And he did. And they got it by Wires, and now they count 3-2. They can't play around with Wires right here if you're Chance Cox.
Yeah, that's the thing. You've got to take your chances with Wires.
Runners go. And the ball lifted out of play off to the right side, and that's going to land down by the bullpen.
A good spot for that guy.
Can't tell him nothing right now. Got him a ball. Got to get it signed before he leaves the ballpark. Three and two the count. And foul back again. Got the terrace area down on the right field side.
So that's 5 straight fastballs now to Wires.
Gonna send that picture to Mom. Runners go again on the 3-2. Hard hit ball at Velasquez, or Matias. Matias throws it across. And in time for the out. Well, they start the runners, Teal and Chance. That keeps State out of the double play ball. And Matias shows you the great leather out of short. And now runners at second and third with 2 outs, and here's Ace Reese to the plate.
Now starting the runners makes a difference. Avoids the double play, gives this guy a chance to swing it with a pair in scoring position.
Doubled his first time up. Ten of his 16 hits have been extra base hits. But what a start to the season for Ace Reese. Just off the plate. And you just get the feel every time he comes to the plate, he's about to do something big. And in this game that you fail 6 out of every 10 times, you have a great career. And it hits a ball right off the end of the bat. Fielded and thrown by Cox, and that will end the inning. Bulldogs strand a pair, but get a pair. And take a 2-1 lead after 2. Roland Fanning now in his 4th season as a head coach. Back-to-back Coach of the Year in the ASUN. As we said, went 45-14 last year after going 35-19 back in 2024. And it was that 24 season that Austin Peay came in here to Starkville and won 2 games in the midweek, a Tuesday and a Wednesday here at Dudy Noble. A 3-2 game on a Tuesday, then a 13-10 game on a Wednesday. A couple of seasons ago, Paris Pridgeon will lead things off. And a hard hit ball, backhanded play by Blake Beavis. He'll race to the bag and step on it for out number 1 of the 3rd. So Pridgeon goes the other way. Chris Billingsley gets the first out of the 3rd inning, and a nice defensive play by Blake Beavis.
On a ball that was hit hard.
And now Trevor Conley will come to the plate, 9-hole hitter. Conley 6 hits and 23 at bats, batting .261. Able to check the swing. Got the hands out of the pocket that time. Dropped in the breaking ball on the count 1-2.
That's the thing that Billingsley's been able to do so far today, is to drop that breaking ball in the strike zone.
And now the count evens. Chop to the right side. Wires comes in and flips it over for out number 2. So a couple of quick ground outs here in the 3rd inning. And now you go back to the top of the order.
It's a nice job by the second baseman Wires. This ball wasn't hit that hard. And you saw as he started that play about 6-7 steps back on the grass. So he's got to come get it. Gets there in a hurry, makes a good throw.
Here's Velasquez. Walked his first time up. Later came around to score. And now 2-0. Velasquez off the Bulldogs starter William Kirk. Walked, went to second on a pass ball, went to third on a ground ball. There's a fly ball lifted well into left field, but that one's going to die when it gets to the outfield. Hit it off the end of the bat. Valencius goes back to get it, and that will end the inning. 3 up and 3 down. A nice quick inning for Chris Billingsley, the right-hander. And State leads 2-1 in the middle of the 3rd. Well, last inning, it was a leadoff double by Blake Beavis right on the third base line, then an infield single by Sean James. And then Bryce Chance lining a ball through the left side, drove home a pair. Driving home, Beavis and Sean James. In-State took a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the second inning, and now bats in the bottom of the third. It'll be 3-4-5 due up. Noah Sullivan, Vitas Valencius, and then Blake Beavis. Sullivan singled to right field his first time up. Checked the swing and fouled it off. State held the runner Ace Reese at third base after he had doubled. Sullivan a hard hit ball to the right side. Wisdom, the right fielder, got it back and threw it into the plate. And Sullivan, thinking there was going to be a play at the plate, took off for second base, and they threw him out at second. And that was the second out of the inning. Then Valencia struck out, and Cox was able to get out of the first inning unscathed. There's Velasquez over at third. He scored the only run for Austin Peay. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Sullivan strikes out swinging, and that's a rare strikeout for Noah Sullivan.
Yeah, got the fastball up that time and just couldn't connect.
4 strikeouts for the left-hander Chance Cox, and the leadoff man erased to start the third. And here's Vitas Valencius, who struck out swinging his first time up. Cox started the Sunday game out at UNLV last weekend. Hard hit ball through the right side. A good piece of hitting by Vitas Valencius. Over to cut it off is Wisdom, the right fielder, keeping Valencius to a single. A solid shot through the right side. Then the Bulldogs have their 6th hit of the day.
So that'll get Blake Beavis to the plate. Last time up, Beavis came up hunting changeup, and he got one. He drove it down the left field line for a double. Later came around to score. All that just an inning ago.
Talked about Cox last weekend against UNLV. Did not get the win in that game. Went 4 2/3. Or 4 1/3. Gave up 5 runs, all earned on 3 hits. 6 strikeouts and 2 walks. Austin Peay put up a 5 spot in the 6th inning to take the lead. They ended up beating UNLV 13-12. In that game. Toss over to first. That was the 4th game of that series. Won it in extra innings. (3-0) way outside.
You know, we talked about that over the weekend, the idea of how you set your schedule up. Those 4-game series, if you're going to get out to Vegas, gives you a chance to package one more game into the travel cost.
And here's Sean James, who had an infield single his first time up. Matias, the shortstop, made a great diving play in the hole, couldn't throw him out. Hard hit ball to the right side, and that's the 2nd hit of the day for Sean James. Wisdom up with it, and the bases are loaded with 1 out.
Valencius, running at second base, had to wait to see if this ball would get past the second baseman Proctor. And once it does, Only then can he head to third base, so having to hold the runner, and that'll leave the bases loaded, just one down.
And Ryder Woodson will come to the plate.
Say this, for Bulldog right-handed hitters, they have been more than willing to go the other way today.
And so a big at bat for Woodson, who struck out looking his first time up. Valencius and Sean James going the other way here in this inning. And now Cox trying to come inside to Woodson. They got it in the air, out into shallow center field. Going to be tough, and it's going to drop. And it'll be an RBI single for Ryder Woodson as Valencius crosses the plate, and it's 3-1 Bulldogs.
Well, this is a ball that even after it drops, the force is on. And so if you can get it to a base ahead of the base runner, you don't have to worry about the tag, but the throw comes back and to the middle of the infield and no chance to make a play at any base.
And now Aiden Teal will bat with the bases loaded and one out. (3-1) Mississippi State lead. Check to swing, but he went around. And now quickly 0-2. 2 runs in the second for the Bulldogs. Added one more to it here in the third. Bases loaded, one down. Aiden Teal drew a walk his first time up. He was behind 1-2 the first time to the plate. And then worked it full. Then he was hit by a 3-2 pitch. And now 2-2. And ripped foul down the right field side. And a fly ball lifted into right field, hit well, and that ball is gone. It's a grand slam for Aiden Teal. His first Bulldog home run. And State blows it open in a little bit here in the third.
Well, Teal had just been waiting to get on track, and he hits that ball 395 feet, 101 off the bat. And that gets back to the walkway in right field.
And it's a 5-run third inning, and it's 7-1 State. And a little bit of breathing room for the home team here in the third. Still a long way to go, and here's Bryce Chance. Rips that ball. Nice play by Matias. Gets up, throws across, in time for the out.
Wow.
Seen a couple snags over there by Matias. Take a look at that home run by Aiden Teal. Got all of it to right field.
Well, that's got to feel really good for Aiden Teal. Had such a big year a year ago and hitting just 200 as he came to the plate then and had some tough luck and struggled to get things going. That may be the swing of the bat that unlocks things for him.
got under it. Drew Wires out into shallow right field. Here comes the Wisdom. And he'll make the catch, and that will end the inning. But the Bulldogs put up a 5 spot in the 3rd inning. And the big one, the grand slam by Aiden Teal in the 7-1 after 3. Freshman hard-throwing left-hander Jack Bauer comes in from the bullpen, and he will pitch the 4th inning for Mississippi State. Pitched a couple of innings last week. An inning and a 3rd against Troy. Was outstanding, struck out the side in his 1st inning of work. Struggled a little bit with control that 2nd inning, but back out on the bump here the midweek against Austin Peay.
Well, one thing we do know about Bauer, he can run it up there from the left side. It'd be interesting to see today what the Bulldog pitching plan is for Bauer. Very good an inning his last time out. Ran into a little trouble in the 2nd. Let's see if the Bulldogs try to stretch him out a little bit here or keeping him in a 1-inning type role.
Showed a really good slider to go along with that fastball. And that was in the 8th inning last week. Got the first guy in the 9th inning against Troy, then a walk, an infield single. It was an infield single he just couldn't recover from. And back-to-back walks, and then State went back to the bullpen. Kyler Proctor going to lead off for Austin Peay. It'll be the meat of the order, 2, 3, and 4 for Austin Peay here in the 4th. Proctor grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. And that was a very productive out by Proctor with a runner at second, nobody out. Hit a ball the right side. And got Velasquez over to 3rd. He scores on a sac fly with the next hitter. And now 3 balls and a strike. Wisdom, the next hitter, is a left-handed hitter.
Everything's been 96, 97 so far.
And he missed inside, and that's ball 4, and a leadoff walk to Kyler Proctor here in the 4th inning.
But as the saying goes, it doesn't really matter how hard you throw ball 4. And so that's going to be the challenge for Bauer here. And now he'll have a left-handed hitter.
Wisdom got a ball up to left field and deep enough to get the run home back in the 1st inning, a sac fly. He starts him off with a fastball. Just a nice, easy 97. You know, and that's the thing that really has impressed you about Bauer. When you see all the stats coming in, the fastball at over 100, and he doesn't appear to be overthrowing at all. Here's a 1-1.
That's a big thing. You see some guys get velocity and they look like they're trying to come out of their shoes. I think you'd have to say that about Bauer. You'd have to say it about Maddox Miller as well. Just guys who look like they were born to throw that way.
Two and one to Wisdom. And now 2-2.
And that's a good-looking pitch.
If you can throw 97 down and away,
you can pitch for quite a while.
Oh, yeah. That will play, as they say. Here's a 2-2. You start a slider at somebody's head when you can throw 100 miles an hour. You can get them reacting like that at the plate. Now the count 3-2. Runner at first, leadoff walk here in the fourth. Got a piece of it. Tapped it foul again at 97. Austin Peay scored the first run of the game. That was back in the top of the first, but the Bulldogs scored 2 in the second and then 5 more in the bottom of the third. A grand slam by Aiden Teal. And it's 7-1. Swing and a miss.
Wow. And that is an absolutely beautiful pitch at the very bottom of the zone. Was going to be tough to do anything with.
And now 1 out, 1 on. You kind of feel like that was a big at bat for Jack Bauer. After the leadoff walk, come back, get the strikeout. Here's Cole Johnson, the DH.
Well, and to have to keep pounding the strike zone. He has 2 balls fouled off, then has to throw a strike again. All those on 3-ball counts.
Starts him off with a fastball strike. And that time just a little high. Bauer from Frankfort, Illinois. And there's strike 2.
And that's a good job receiving by Sean James right there. That ball is in the zone, but on the outside part. He doesn't allow the pitch to beat him to a spot, gets it framed up. You know, we talk so much about catchers and this idea of earning strikes from your pitcher. Sometimes it's just as important, or perhaps more so, not to lose strikes. If you're late getting the ball out on the edge, it can really hurt your pitcher.
And now the count goes to 3-2 to Cole Johnson. Ground ball headed to right field, and that's a single. Proctor will put the brakes on at second base. And it's first and second with one out. Good piece of hitting by Johnson. He knew he was going to get a fastball, and he just pokes it through the right side.
Good piece of hitting by Johnson, and then a good piece of defensive effort by Bryce Chance out into right field. He comes and gets that ball in a hurry, holds the lead runner at second base. Doesn't allow the runner from first to take two bases.
And here's Matias, who drew a walk his first time up. Ground ball left side, headed to left field. That's a base hit. They'll stop the runner at third, and the bases are loaded with one out. Matias grounds one through the left side. Proctor put on the brakes at third. And now the base is loaded for Zion Taylor, left-handed hitter. The catcher, Sean James, going to go out and have a word. You know, last week when State brought Bauer in the game, he was the fifth guy to work. State used 6 pitchers last Tuesday against Troy. And he was the fifth different guy that the catcher, Sean James, had caught that night. And you could tell Sean was bothered. But he looks a lot more comfortable back there behind the plate today with Jack Bauer. You talk about receiving the way he received that strikeout a moment ago. And strike one to Zion Taylor. A strike two call.
And that pitch is another good job by Sean James. It's a ball right on the edge. That's a 50-50 call, and that's a good job of receiving again by the Bulldog catcher.
0-2 count. Swing and a miss at the good hard slider. Second out of the fourth inning.
Well, if you're a Mississippi State fan, this is why you should be excited about Jack Bauer. It's one thing to rear back and throw it hard, and he does that with the best of them. But ahead in the count, not having to go back to that fastball, having the slider working for him, and that's a big strikeout.
And so here comes Brian O'Connor, and that's going to be all for Jack Bauer, as he will leave the game after giving up a couple singles and a walk. You've got a right-handed hitter coming up in Keaton Cottom. And so State will go back to the bullpen. Leave the mound with a good taste in your mouth with a big strikeout of the left-hander. State holding a 7-1 lead. Here's a right-hander, Jack Gleason, freshman from Germantown, Tennessee. 4th appearance, and Charlie, he's been solid so far this season.
Well, he absolutely has, and you see the strikeout to walk ratio, but he's only given up 1 hit. Start to look at that, walks plus hits per inning pitched is about .25. And there's a lot of good arms in this young stable for State this year, but Gleason, a guy who's really jumped out, pitching in some big moments and making some big pitches. He comes into a big moment here. His team with a 7-1 lead, but Austin Peay with the bags jammed.
Cottom, the batter, struck out swinging against Chris Billingsley back in the 2nd. Billingsley was the batter, or excuse me, Cottom was the batter when William Kirk, the Bulldogs starter, tweaked something in his left leg and came out of the game with a 0-1 count. There's a fastball strike and a count 1-1. Chris Billingsley came in for the bullpen, struck him out. And then Billingsley worked a good quick 1-2-3 third inning. And then Bauer came in here to start the 4th. A walk and a couple singles. A couple strikeouts. And a hard hit ball into right field. Bryce Chance ranging over. He's there to make the catch, and that will end the inning. So Jack Gleason comes out of the bullpen and gets the fly out. Keeps Austin Peay off the board in the 4th. It's 7-1 State in the middle of the 4th.
Well, we head to the bottom of the 4th, and that guy right there, Ace Reese, will lead things off for the Bulldogs. Well, the preseason accolades were all there for Reese. Preseason All-American, number 2 in the list of D1 baseball's top 50 third baseman, number 11 in terms of a draft prospect. But it's one thing to have the accolades, it's another to live up to them. And Reese is off to a heck of a start this season in terms of doing just that. 16 hits in 32 at-bats. They'll have to look at a new arm this time, though, as Aaron Lewis comes in the ball game. Lewis, the senior, making his 3rd appearance on the season. He's gone 2 2/3. So Cox, the left-hander, gives way to Lewis, the right-hander.
And the first pitch to Ace Reese, grounded to the right side. Second baseman Proctor playing back deep. Fields and throws, 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 4th. Charlie had to put on a thicker jacket, man. It's getting a little cool here at the ballpark. Here's Noah Sullivan, he'll bat.
Well, I took advantage of the mid-inning there to plug up not 1 heater but 2.
So you have 2, I have none.
But I don't have a jacket.
So you steal both the heaters. A breaking ball strike. Noah Sullivan 1 for 2, single to right field in the 1st. He struck out swinging in the 3rd.
That's the thing about baseball season. You see a full range of the thermometer throughout the season.
Remember back at the old ballpark when we plugged the heater in one time, then game operations came up and unplugged it and says you can't have it. It'll throw the circuit. They're worried it's gonna knock out the scoreboard. And to be honest with you, I think I said, I don't care if you got the scoreboard or not. I want to be warm. Which was a very selfish statement. 3-1. Now the ball ripped into left field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. A 1-out single by Noah Sullivan.
That's a well-hit ball by Noah Sullivan to left. His second hit of the day. Of course, I can't help but think about our friend Butch Thompson, coach over at Auburn.
A Butchism.
The best way not to get cold, don't get cold.
Don't get cold. Because you ever get cold, you ain't getting warm. Vitas Valencius will come to the plate. He's 1 for 2. Singled his last time up.
You know, you go around the league, and of course, baseball is such a fraternity. You think about the guys who've been here the past couple of weekends and just what good baseball guys have been in.
Inside it hits Valencius on the hand. That hurts any day, especially on a cold day. And a 1-out hit batsman. Valencius will walk down to first.
You got to think about it. The thing that's so great about baseball, just what a fraternity it is. Chance to see guys coming in early in the season. Then you start to get to league play, and, you know, you can kind of start to think about some coaches. Some are more conversational than others. Maybe we should say it that way.
That's right. Here's Reed Stallman batting in place of Blake Beavis, who was 1 for 1 today. He had a double and scored in the second inning. He walked and scored in the third. And so with a right-handed pitcher up, Stallman's going to get an at-bat. Here in the 4th inning, Mississippi State leading 7-1. You talk about the fraternity of coaches and how interwoven this sport is. Austin Peay, of course, Roland Fanning, head coach at Austin Peay. Trevor Fitz was at Austin Peay at one time. He's now at Kentucky with Nick. Roland Fanning was at Kentucky with Nick Mingione. Oh, is it Clarksville? 2-0. In there for a strike and a count 2-1. And I knew I was going to say Roland Terry sometime tonight. Former Bulldog offensive lineman, living down in Meridian now. Two-one. Chopped it foul. Now the count's even. Of course, you got a former Bulldogs, a starting quarterback at Austin Peay now in football, Chris Parsons. And now the count full. I think Parson and Beavis went to the same high school. Three-two. That ball ripped into right center field and well struck, and it's going to split the outfielders and get to the wall. Noah Sullivan scores easily. Here comes Vitas Valencius. It's a two-run double for Reed Stallman, and State leads 9-1 in the fourth.
Boy, Stallman hits this ball really hard. It's 102 off the bat and straight for the alley.
They got to the gap in a hurry. Reed Stallman. That's his third double of the season. And now State's going to bat with Andrew Raymond, the left-handed hitting catcher, in place of Sean James, who went 2 for 2 tonight.
Stallman just looks more comfortable at the plate than he did a year ago. The approach seems better. Just really been swinging it well.
Andrew Raymond lifts that one down the left field line, slicing down toward the corner and run down and caught by Zion Taylor. Got a good jump on it. Taylor races over toward the line to make the play for the second out of the fourth.
All right, this is a really tough play to make. This ball's got a lot of side spin on it, so it's running away from him. Has to come a ways, has to navigate a wall. And that's a nicely made play by Taylor out in left.
Yeah, tough play that made it look easy. Here's Ryder Woodson. Struck out his first time up, had a pop fly single to center field, drove in a run in the third. And the guy on deck hit the grand slam right behind it, Aiden Teal. Hit it off the end of the bat into center field. Pridgeon comes in. He will squeeze it, and that will end the inning. But Mississippi State adds to the lead in the fourth inning. A big two-run double by Reed Stallman plates a pair, and the Bulldogs lead 9-1 after 4. Now we go to the top of the fifth inning, a 9-1 Mississippi State lead over Austin Peay. The Bulldogs have gotten the offense going tonight. They've got 9 runs on 11 hits. 3 doubles, a home run.
And that was a big one.
State's been good with runners in scoring position, 7 hits and 13 chances. A grand slam by Aiden Teal. A 2-run single by Bryce Chance. A 2-run double by Reed Stallman.
And how about this, Bart? 9 runs for the Bulldogs through their first 4 at-bats. 0 for 4 hitting with 2 outs today.
Stallman's your new first baseman. And Andrew Raymond is your new catcher. The squaring to bunt, took the pitch down. Pridgeon, Conley, then Velasquez. 8, 9, and 1 in the order for Austin Peay in the 5th. Pridgeon grounded out to the first baseman his first time up. Well, game 9 but a 9-game homestand to start the season. Now the Bulldogs will hit the road and head out to Arlington, Texas. Play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday against Arizona State. It's an early game, too. Play Friday at 11 a.m. against Arizona State. Then Saturday at 3 o'clock against Virginia Tech. And then Sunday at 2:30 against UCLA, the top team in the country. 2-1. And Charlie is just different when you get out on the road that first time. Now, I know that State's not going to have the long bus ride. They'll fly over.
Well, there's just some value to being in a hotel together, being at dinner together, getting on the road.
Fouled it over in the first base dugout.
You know, you start to think through your sports. Obviously, football, no such thing as a road trip where you're gone for a while. You think about basketball, how many times do teams really start to bond after they go play in a multi-team event, play 3 or 4 games away from home, and you're on the bus together, in the hotel together. Those things happen in baseball, too.
Three and two the count. And there's strike 3 called over the outside corner. Pridgeon is struck out, and that's the first strikeout for Jack Leeson, who came in to get the final out of the 4th inning.
Boy, this is a really good-looking fastball here.
So 1 down, and Trevor Conley will come to the plate. He grounded out to the second baseman his first time up.
Now, the key to the road trip is having a good place to travel, too. Dallas, just such a great place, that Arlington area. It's far enough from home, but not so far that your fans can't go, not so far that you feel worn out by the time you get home.
0-2 count, pitches down.
You know, you can think back the number of times that we've gone to the West Coast to play early. It's just a long ways from here to there.
And lifted in the air and foul territory out of play. State went to Houston last year. Won the first game against Rice, then lost against Arizona. And then lost against Oklahoma State. That was last year, but it was earlier in the season. It was the second weekend of the year last year. 1-2. And to the left side to Ryder Woodson. He'll step and throw in time for the out. Now 2 outs in the inning. Man, I tell you what they've done in Houston and in Arlington, and you've seen it in Round Rock as well, and Frisco, these early season tournaments in the state of Texas. Of course, they had a big tournament last weekend, or a round robin down in Jacksonville that LSU played in. Here's Velasquez. Had a fly out the left field in the third inning. Walked and scored the lone run for Austin Peay back in the first.
Now, I have to tell you, from a scheduling perspective, I do like those games coming on the third weekend, as Mississippi State will do this year. Second weekend's not bad. It's that opening weekend that still got a lot of questions about your team when you go play those games.
Two-one. State went out to Globe Life and played to start the 2021 season. Two and two the count to Velasquez. Jack Gleason, a couple quick outs here in the fifth. 2-2. And just outside.
You know, it's crazy when you think back to that 21 season. Still, one of the defining memories that I have is going out to Globe Life and beating Texas.
Luke Hancock had a big two-run home run in that game.
Landon Sims coming out of the bullpen in a bases-loaded situation.
And pulled down the left field line. That ball hooking it down by the Bulldog bullpen. Of course, back in the old days, you think about the Superdome Classic they had in New Orleans. You think about going to Minneapolis and playing in the Dome up there. Three and two the count, the pitch. Outside ball four, and Velasquez walks for the second time tonight. Was it Lyle Mouton that hit the long home run?
Yes, it was.
Down in New Orleans. Kyler Proctor will come to the plate. Grounded out to second base his first time up. He walked to lead off the fourth. And here comes Justin Parker out of the dugout, and he'll have a word with his Bulldog pitcher, Jack Gleason, after the two-out walk.
State started that 90s season, that World Series team, down in New Orleans. At LSU, UNO, and Tulane in back-to-back days. Tracy Jobs got the win. Bulldogs dropped the first two games. Tracy Jobs got that win against Tulane.
Swing and a miss at the slider. And a swing and a miss for strike two. Swing and a miss.
Nice.
Got the slider down on the 0-2, and Jack Gleason strikes out two in the fifth. Pitches around the two-out walk, and the Bulldogs keep their 9-1 lead in the middle of the fifth. 9-1, Mississippi State leading in the bottom of the 5th inning as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Mansell and Bobby telling some lies out in the outfield. And Aiden Teal will lead things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. In his last at bat, Aiden Teal with the bases loaded and 1 out. Got all of 1. Towns one to right field, a grand slam, his first Bulldog home run. And that gave State a 7-1 lead at the time. Added 2 more to it in the bottom of the 4th, and Aiden Teal will do it against a new pitcher as Bryce McCain will come into pitch. Talk about playing Arizona State on Friday at 11 a.m. Arizona State is playing right now in Norman, Oklahoma, and they're in the bottom of the 4th inning in Norman, and they're leading Oklahoma, who's unbeaten, 14-3. And Arizona State looking to go unbeaten, 8-0 here to start the season. Aiden Teal hit by a pitch his first time up, then a grand slam to right field in the 3rd. Arkansas State is beating Arkansas 12-3 in the 9th inning in Fayetteville.
I'm sure the reactions will all be calm and well considered in Fayetteville.
There's no such thing as overreaction here early in the season. 1-1, chop foul. Well, McCain, a little drop down action, 3/4. Tennessee, after losing 2 out of 3 this past weekend to Kent State, they're leading Bellarmine right now 8-0 in the 8th inning in Knoxville. A 1-2 pitch popped up. Right side of the infield, second baseman Proctor calling for it. That ball a mile high, and Proctor hauls it in for out number 1 of the 5th.
So that'll get Bryce Chance to the plate. Back in the 2nd inning, he drove in the Bulldogs' first 2 runs.
A 2-run single to left field with the bases loaded. Little side-winding slider. Matthew Wilbanks, every time he looks out at the mound and says, hey, got to be looking. Next time it'll be a ball. Jots a little note down in the book, makes a little pencil mark. The 0-1. That ball ripped, and that's a fair ball. It's going to carry him off the wall in left field, and Bryce Chance is on his way to second. Here comes the throw, and it's not in time. And the second hit of the night for Bryce Chance. This time, a 1-out double here in the 5th.
Well, Bryce Chance just continues to produce in this Bulldog lineup. Gets a pitch on the bottom part of the inside half of the plate and just pulls it down the line.
And the Bulldogs going to have a pinch hitter in Garrick Fry to bat here in the 5th inning. So, yeah, the starting left-hander tonight, Chance Cox, and Drew Wires drew the start out at second base with a starting left-hander. Garrick Fry will pinch hit. And you would presume he would go out and play second base in the top of the 6th inning. And it hits that ball a mile high out in the center field. And Pridgeon camps out under it. And that's out number 2 of the 5th.
So that gets Ace Reese to the plate. Reese is 1 for 3 on the day, doubled off the top of the wall in the first, grounded out in the second and the fourth, but we're going to have a walk to the mound.
And we're going to have a new pitcher. Austin Peay is going to go to the bullpen and bring out the left-hander. McCain comes in, gets a couple of outs. He surrenders the one-out double to Bryce Chance, but pretty good job by the right-hander McCain. And Austin Peay back to the bullpen with Ace Reese coming to the plate and Mississippi State leading 9-1. Cade Falk will come in to pitch. Senior from Phoenix, Arizona, left-hander. And he will pitch to Ace Reese in a matchup, left on left with the runner at second. And 2 outs in the 5th.
Has an appearance on the season, but it was short lasting. Allowed a hit. That was a triple, gave up 1 run, did not record an out. But the matchup game on here for Ace Reese, left on left.
Ace 1 for 3. And fouls that pitch off. Doubled off the wall in right field in the first inning. Hit a ball right off the end of the bat to the pitcher in the second, then grounded out to the second baseman to lead off the 4th. And Proctor, the second baseman, back in the same spot he was in, about 5 steps out on the right field grass. Fouled it back, and now the count 1-2. Chance the runner at second.
So Reese got the left-on-left changeup that time. Good job fighting it off.
Lifts that one in the air, foul territory, and it will head out of play. Bulldogs have out-hit Austin Peay 12-2 and lead at 9-1 in the bottom of the fifth. 2 in the second, 5 in the third, 2 more in the fourth. And batting with a runner at second, 2 outs in the fifth.
That one comes way inside.
Hard hit ball in the right field. And that will drive in a run. Chance will come in to score. It's an RBI single for Ace Reese, his second hit tonight. And that ball was scalded well.
Well, it certainly was. And this is a good at-bat by Reese. Has to battle with 2 strikes and then gets a pitch he can handle, drives it down the right field line. And out of the box, he's thinking double. The Wisdom gets over and cuts it off. And the last thing you want to do is get tagged out before a run crosses the plate, so held at first.
Wisdom was playing back deep against Ace Reese, and here's Noah Sullivan. Sullivan's got a couple singles. One to right field in the first inning, one to left field in the fourth inning. He struck out swinging in the third. They popped him up, foul territory, over by the bullpen. And it will land down to the chair backs before it gets down to the bullpen.
Well, that guy's hearing about it.
Two and two the count to Noah Sullivan. Vitas Valencias due up next. Rips that ball foul, and we'll do it again. Talk about Austin Peay going on the road this weekend. They're playing at Cincinnati. Well, Cincinnati's had a great start to their season. State after tonight will not be back at home until next Friday for the final non-conference weekend against Lipscomb. On the road in Arlington this weekend, on the road in Hattiesburg at Southern Miss next Tuesday night, a week from tonight. 3-2, popped it straight back.
Be a good crowd down at Hattiesburg for that one.
Yeah, Southern Miss had a great weekend this past weekend. Southern Miss is traveling to La Tech this weekend. So big matchup, Louisiana Tech and Southern Miss. Outside, ball 4. Sullivan draws a walk, keeps the inning alive. And Vitas Valencius will be the batter with first and second and 2 outs. A 10-1 Mississippi State lead, and we will have a move to the bullpen. So Falk comes in, gives up the RBI single to Ace Reese, and he walks Noah Sullivan. And Austin Peay going to go back to the bullpen. So we'll step away as the right-hander Lanham will come in. Brody Lanham, big 6'6" right-hander coming out of the bullpen. Hometown guy, Clarksville, Tennessee native.
Last pitched in a ball game against UNLV back on the 14th. When an inning allowed a hit, only had to throw 9 pitches in the frame. A season ago, made 13 appearances out of the bullpen.
And James Nunley will now be the hitter. It bounces up there, blocked up. So Nunley will come in, and you would think that Nunley would play right field and Chance would go from right to left. If you'd have made me bet on Sunday that Delaware and Maryland would play on Tuesday night.
What?
They are playing in College Park. They switched the sites. They're playing at Maryland. So Delaware and Maryland are playing right now, the bottom of the 7th. That ball ripped into right field and hit well off the bat of Nunley, and it's a line drive home run, a 3-run home run for James Nunley. And Mississippi State leads it 13-1.
Well, how about that? Nunley hits one 103 off the bat. Has an exit angle of just 21 degrees. It is a line shot that gets out of here.
His first home run. And it's a 3-run shot in the 5th inning. And it's 13-1. Bulldogs have a grand slam from his former teammate at Virginia, Aiden Teal, and a 3-run home run for James Nunley here in the 5th. 13-1, and here's Stallman coming to the plate. Just a line drive.
"20 years from now, that will have been a towering fly ball."
He hit 1 home run last year as a freshman at Virginia. And Stallman fouls that one off to the left side. And now 1-2. The pitch is down. So Delaware left here on Sunday after the game was over, and they were going to bus, and they bused to Bristol, Tennessee. I think Everett took them up there, handed them off to another bus company. They were going to drive all day yesterday and try to get home, but evidently they got as far as College Park, and they switched the game from Delaware to Maryland and playing right now. And that's a story they'll talk about 20 years from now.
Well, right now, if sources are to be believed, as the walk is issued, it is 36 degrees with a wind chill of around 31.
So it's kind of like it was on Sunday here.
Kind of kept that bus driving.
Andrew Raymond will come to the plate. Runner at first. The inning stays alive. Raymond is second at bat. He flew out to left field his first time up. After Sean James went 2 for 2 tonight.
Well, say this for Austin Peay. The dugout keeps the energy even when the game no longer within reach.
Count 1-2.
They bring their own crowd.
I don't see a shopping cart and I don't see a conga line. So it's not over the top.
No, it's not.
1-2 fouled off.
We have seen shopping carts and conga lines. Where's Kentucky playing today?
They're off today. Fouled off to the left side. One and two, the count, bottom of the fifth, a 13-1 Mississippi State lead over Austin Peay. The Governors scored their lone run in the top of the first inning. 13 unanswered by State. 1-2. Foul tip out of the middle of the catcher, caught him.
10 different Bulldogs have hits in the ball game today. 4 different Bulldogs have multiple hits.
Here's a 1-2. Breaking ball down. And that one, strike 3 called at the knees. Raymond strikes out looking, and that will end the 5th inning. But the Bulldogs get 4 runs in the 5th, a 3-run home run by James Nunley, and it's 13-1 as we move to the 6th. Well, Starkville and Duty Noble Field. Business picking up here in the spring. Great ballpark. A lot of anticipation for this season. Sun setting to the west, and here's Dane Burns, 5th Bulldog pitcher of the night.
They see Burns, the tall left-hander for the Bulldogs, comes into the ball game. He's gone an inning and a third on the season. A couple of strikeouts, hasn't allowed a hit, walked 1. Well, it got all kinds of movement in the outfield. Chance has moved over to left. Nunnally takes over in right. Teal in center.
I think Garrick Fry is your new second baseman. Top of the 6th, the 13-1 Mississippi State lead.
You know, Burns has a really good matchup with left-handed hitters, and he gets Wisdom, the left-hander, here to start the 6th, and then a stack of righties before the left-hander Taylor.
Wisdom struck out swinging against Jack Bauer back in the 4th inning. Drove in a run with a sac fly to left field in the 1st. Starts a breaking ball at the ears and breaks it on in there.
This breaking pitch had a spin rate of over 3,100. Look at this.
1-2. Threw another one, and this one fouled off.
You talk about why he has that advantage against left-handed hitters, the ability to start it out at the front shoulder and then break it back to the strike zone.
And kept it down and in again that time. Three, 4, 5 in the order here in the inning. Top of the 6th. Tried to slip the fastball. And lifted into right center field and hit well, and Nunley ranging over, and he'll make the catch. Played it perfectly out in right field. Nunley makes the play. Wisdom flies out to right field for out number 1 of the 6th.
So that'll get the cleanup man Johnson to the plate. He's single back in the 4th. 1 for 2 on the day. Now you see the other side. We saw Burns facing the left-hander. Everything starting out at the body, moving into the zone. Now with the right-handed hitter Johnson, the chance to backdoor some pitches.
0-1 to Johnson. Cole Johnson takes a strike. Single to right field off of Bauer in the 4th inning. 2-strike pitch, just went the other way, shortened everything up, and single through the right side. He pulls out one foul. He's got a little bit extra on that tonight.
Boy.
Sometimes when you come to the ballpark, a certain pitch feels good to you, and he's got some bite with that slider tonight. I'm telling you, man.
Spinning it.
Swinging in a foul tip, and that's a strikeout of Cole Johnson. And he is snapping that thing off now. 2 outs here in the 6th inning, and Andres Matias will bat. He's been on base twice tonight. He walked the lead off the 2nd inning, single to left field in the 4th. That one just off the plate. Try to start him off with a fastball. And lifted into center field and hit well. Teal ranging back. And with room, he'll reach up and make the catch in a 1-2-3 inning for Dane Burns. A couple of flyouts and a strikeout. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and Mississippi State with a 13-1 lead over Austin Peay. (13-1) Mississippi State leading as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning and look at how this game has unfolded in the game summary. 13 runs on 14 hits for Mississippi State. Just 1 run on 2 hits for Austin Peay. Chance Cox threw the start, went 3 innings, gave up 7 runs on 9 hits. William Kirk drew the start for State, left the game with a leg injury. That was in the 2nd inning. Aiden Teal's got a grand slam, and James Nunley a 3-run home run. A 2-run double by Reed Stallman, a 2-run single by Bryce Chance. And Mississippi State trying to go 9-0 to start the season. And Colin Carney will come into pitch. A right-hander by way of McLennan Community College out in Texas.
It's been a very good program over the years.
You start talking about the small fraternity of college baseball. Mitch Thompson won a national championship out at McLennan. Former Bulldog assistant. Now he's the head coach at Baylor. Foul tip as Gatlin Sanders gets it at bat and strikes out swinging to start the 6th inning. And Peter Marchand will now bat.
Baylor and Ole Miss play Friday out in Houston.
Yeah, they're playing out at the and that Houston affair we played in last year. It was a good deal. The 12-6 breaking ball drops in there to Marchand.
I was trying to think who else is down there. I know Texas will be playing. UTSA is down there.
Marchand 2 for 4 on the season. Hits that ball out to the shortstop. Matias up with it. And 2 outs in the inning. All right, the one that Ole Miss is playing in, they play Baylor on Friday against Ohio State on Saturday, and then Coastal Carolina on Sunday.
All right, so Baylor will play Ole Miss, Texas, and UTSA.
Okay. You got the other side of the bracket.
I got the other. All right, we've seen a home run tonight. We saw one from this guy last time we were here.
Jacob Parker, freshman from Purvis. Grounds that ball to the third baseman. Velasquez will toss it over in time for the out.
Nope.
Oh, no.
So Velasquez doesn't put a lot on this throw across the infield. And because of that, Conley over at first base doesn't get it quite all the way to him, I'm afraid. Let's see.
That will be an error.
Somebody's going to get it. We'll see who they give it to.
That'll be a throwing error by the third baseman. And that's one the first baseman, Conley, will say he should have had. But they charge the error to the third baseman. I think Garrick Fry will be the batter. Yeah, Parker hit that home run in the Saturday game against Delaware. A 2-run home run in the 4th inning. Count 0-2 to Garrick Fry, who had a fly out to center field and is only at bat so far tonight. So Jacob Parker, the runner over at first.
Matias playing behind the bag at second.
Chop left side and off the glove of Matias. He was shaded up the middle, and that will be an infield single for Garrick Fry.
Yep, so Matias was playing behind the bag at second base, pulled around for the left-handed hitter. And what is otherwise a fairly routine ground ball, Matias has to go a long ways to get it.
Yeah, there's no way he throws him out. Parker now runs at second. And Garrick Fry, the runner at first base, and Austin Peay will go to the bullpen again here in the bottom of the sixth inning. 13-1, Mississippi State leading. Well, Dylan Atkins will come in from the bullpen, left-hander. A freshman from Madison, Alabama, by way of Bob Jones High School. And he will inherit runners at first base and second base and 2 outs in the sixth inning. Charlie, we were talking a minute ago. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you're going to come into a ball game, there are more enviable places to do it.
Then against Ace Reese.
With a couple of guys aboard.
Ace is 2 for 4 tonight. Way outside. Oh, talk about Delaware busing back and playing tonight. The team has been hampered by the weather, has been Hofstra. They have not played since they played us. Pitch outside. Was supposed to play Iona this past weekend. And Frank Calinato says, you know what, I doubt we play that one next weekend. And then they were supposed to play tomorrow night against Fordham. That's already been rescheduled. So Hofstra has had a full week off. 2-1 the count to Ace Reese. RBI single in the fifth inning. And hits that ball a mile. Way out of here. A 3-run home run for Ace Reese. His 3rd home run of the season. And what a start to 2026 for the All-American third baseman.
It doesn't take a big fly to get one out to right. But Reese just did it anyway. Absolutely crushed it.
No doubt about that one. And so Atkins greeted rudely, coming in to pitch to Reese. Well, sometimes you have one that gets up and hit it off the end of the bat. That one was beat on. Here's Jackson Owen. Yep. Check the swing, and now the count 0-2 to Jackson Owen. Starkville native looking for his first Bulldog base hit, the 0-2, way upstairs. Played a game against Alcorn State last week, walked a couple of times. 1-2. And swing and a miss, and that will end the inning. But the Bulldogs get 3 more in the 6th inning as Ace Reese with his 3rd home run of the season. And now we go to the 7th. State trying to close it out in 7, leading 16-1. Well, the right-hander Tanner Beliveau will come into pitch, the freshman from Petal. Making his 2nd appearance of the season. And Charlie, when he came in last Wednesday night against Alcorn, he had some real stuff.
He did indeed. What an inning. 2 of the 3 outs recorded via the strikeout.
All counted defensive changes for State. Peter Mershon in left field, Jacob Parker in center field, Nunley's in right. Ace Reese still at third base, Gatlin Sanders at short, Garrick Fry at second, Stallman at first, Raymond doing the catching. Derek Mitchell will be a pinch hitter to lead off the 7th. The 16 runs on 16 hits tonight for Mississippi State. Austin Peay 1 run on 2 hits. And those were back-to-back singles in the 4th inning. Fouled it back. Beliveau pitched at Petal High School, the Petal Panthers. 1-2. Swing and a miss and a good hard slider. Well, fastball at 96, and you throw that one right there. Mitchell swings and misses, and out number 1 of the 7th. 10-run rule in effect after 7 innings, and so Austin Peay down to its final 2 outs. Here's Houston Abear.
Says he did not go.
Abear, the freshman from Clarksville, played at Rossview High School. And chops out one foul. Well, an early start on Friday for the Bulldogs against Arizona State out at Globe Life out in Arlington, Texas. Then in Virginia Tech on Saturday, UCLA on Sunday. Swing and a miss and a count 1-2.
We see how well those pitches play off each other. That 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and right in the same tunnel comes a slider.
Abear batting in place of Keaton Cottom, who went 0 for 2 tonight. At the knees with a breaking ball. And Abear strikes out looking.
Yeah, and you can't blame him. You just get locked up by that. That's a good-looking catch. And keep in mind, too, if you're watching at home, you see Raymond go down to make that catch. That ball's in the zone when it crosses the front of the plate. There's a lot of breaking left to do there.
Pangborn at the plate, pinch hitter. Yeah, when he got that downward action breaking ball, and caught right there, it does catch a good portion of the bottom part of the zone. And now 2-0 the count. And now 3-0. Just come back with a couple fastballs. And now the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pangborn, the sophomore, the pinch hitter. His first at bat of the season. 3-2. And fouled it off. Got 97 in on the hands.
Not much you can do with that.
Except smile. And Andrew Raymond, Bulldog catcher. Well, you want to make sure you get the right sign when a guy throwing 97.
Yeah, it helps.
You don't want to be thinking curveball and get the fastball. 3-2 the count. 2 down here in the 7th. And strike. Ooh. Huh. Andrew Raymond thought he got him too.
Huh.
Matthew Wilbanks, a home plate umpire. It may have gone around it, maybe. But
well, here's what we know. He does not have dinner reservations at 7.
And Trevor Conley will be the batter with a runner at first and 2 outs. And off the mid of the catcher, and that will go back to the screen, and runner will reach second. Let's see how they score that.
I think we're going to see a pass ball, and we're actually going to see a visit to the mound here.
Yeah, Justin Parker going to go out, try to calm the waters a little bit.
Well, and this highlights a couple of things. But in a 16-1 ball game, 2 outs, just 1 out away from ending things, Bulldog coaching staff still working here. It's not a chance to mail it in. And, you know, you've got a guy, Beliveau, you're still looking to see what he can do for you. And obviously you've seen that electric fastball. You've seen the breaking pitch. I think probably just a good chance to go out here and talk to your catcher just as much as your pitcher and say, all right, let's all dial in here and let's get out of this thing. And maybe a chance to say, hey, man, it's Cole, to the home plate umpire as he comes out. Here's Conley 0 for 2.
1-0. Popped it up behind the plate. Now it'll get out of play.
A couple of ground outs. Second baseman and the shortstop have picked him up and thrown him out.
Ground ball off the mound and no play. They have kicked off the foot. And that will be an infield single for Trevor Conley, and only the 3rd hit of the night.
All right, take a look at this bounce because this is going to save a run. Ball hit back up the middle. I think it got his foot. Kicks way up in the air. Gatlin Sanders, the shortstop, able to grab it. But that saves a run. Otherwise, that ball was headed for center field and a base hit.
Like it nicked the back of his heel. You've got that little indention right there when you're coming down, and it's just a little slight indention. Pops off the heel and goes straight up in the air. So walking an infield single off of Beliveau. Velasquez is due to the plate.
Well, we're having an extended conversation, which gives the home organist a chance for an extended organ version of something.
Well, he's not here. You know, that's the guy that comes over from the Braves. You know, come over a couple times, maybe once a season. But I think he tapes a lot of stuff, and so what they do is they'll play it. That guy is good when he shows up. But he only shows up when he's asked. It's not like he just shows up when he wants to. Pickering, the batter.
Walk in the booth. Scoot over. I want to work the organ today.
And he has to bring his own, you know. It's not like they got one down there. 1-0.
No Casio sound machine down there.
Doesn't flip it out of the wall. 2-0 the count. And now 3-0. Inside ball 4, and now the bases are loaded. So a couple of strikeouts. Beliveau got 2 quick outs, and a walk, an infield single, and another walk. And the bases are loaded. And another pinch hitter, T.J. Costello. He's 1 for 10 at the plate this year. And back to the screen, and nobody's going to move up. That was a fastball that got away. And it hits off the back padding, and the runner at third saw no reason.
It's now just the game within the game. If you're Bulldog coaching staff wanting to see how Beliveau reacts here.
And there's a strike. And tried to check the swing, but went around, and now the count 1-2. All right, here we go. One-two pitch. Hit it off the end of the bat, out into shallow center field, and that ball is going to drop. And 2 runs are going to score. It'll be a 2-run single by T.J. Costello, make it a 16-3 game.
It's a good job of hitting by Costello. He doesn't try to do too much with it, just takes the pitch. He's protecting here. This ball was off the plate, but just protecting, gets a bat on it, and it just falls in no man's land, and a couple of runs come home to score. And we're going to have a visit to the mound and a new pitcher.
And so Brian O'Connor comes out. Well, Beliveau had a really good start to the 7th inning, a couple of strikeouts. Thought he had strike 3. And then an infield single, another walk, and a pop fly single. And that will do it. So the Bulldogs will go back to the bullpen and try to finish it out. 16-3 lead. Booth will come in and make his Bulldog debut. Freshman from Madison, Alabama. Runners at first and second, 2 outs in the 7th inning, a 10-run rule in effect. State trying to close it out. And the freshman going to get his first chance to pitch on the mound.
Yeah, so Booth comes in. He redshirted a season ago. Needing just 1 out to close things out. You'll see DJ Merriweather come to the plate, the pinch hitter.
First at bat of the year for Merriweather. Off the mid of the catcher, runners move up to second and third. That will be a pass ball charged to Andrew Raymond. Merriweather's been in a couple games, but both times as a pinch runner. He scored a run. This is the first at bat. Braden Booth, the 1-1. And now 1-2.
And that's a great location of the fastball right there. Just gets it up just above the strike zone and a little bit inside to the left-handed hitter.
State trying to close it out, win by a 10-run rule. Here on a Tuesday against Austin Peay. Here's a 1-2 pitch. They've got it down to the final pitch a couple of times in this game. Here in the 7th inning.
And they'll try one more time.
And now the 2-2. Strike 3 called, and that will do it. So Braden Booth comes in, finishes it out. 2 runs in the inning for Austin Peay, but Mississippi State tonight got it done offensively. Got a big night, a grand slam from Aiden Teal, a 3-run home run from James Nunley. Ace Reese had 3 hits and a 3-run home run. And the Bulldogs finished this 9-game homestand to start the season with 9 wins. The best start since 2015.
Yeah, and I think the big story for tonight for Mississippi State on the offensive side, those 16 hits didn't leave guys on base, just 5 guys left. Meanwhile, Bulldog pitching allowing just 4 hits. A lot to build on headed into a big weekend.
So for Charlie Winfield, I'm Bart Gregory saying so long from Starkville, where Mississippi State wins it 16-3. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.